quit, you can re-enter as a member as you like and at all time. And people are doing things in the most unconventional manner. Anti-establishment has been there all the time, but the point I'm trying to make is that the new social movement is working on a different platform, different ways of doing it. And the third new reality is politics has changed. Democracy has been transformed. I was alluding to it earlier on by saying that democracy is not limited only to the ballot box, it's not only the parliament. People are asking for their, especially young people are asking for their voices to be heard, their talents and their roles to be recognized, and issues addressed in a manner that are youth-centered or people-centered rather than leadership-centered. So there are leaders among these people, and some of the leaders, as I said, they are not known as leaders in the first circle. I mean, the blogger who called people to Tahrir Square is a leader, never elected. But why bother being elected if you are not able to call people to annual general meeting until and unless you put hampers to entice people to come. Cabutan bertuah baru orang datang. Or you have to invite artists to get people to come to your function, but you get elected. These are leaders who don't get elected. But even then, if you look at Egypt, I mean, this is, I'm straying away from your original question. Still, there are some elements of the old organizations. Ghannouchi, the leader of Al-Nahda, the political party is still intact, though he was living in exile, or he was exiled for 22 years in the UK. Ikhwan is still very strong in Egypt. But having said that, I don't think Ikhwan and Al-Nahda would be as strong as they are today, if not because of the new realities that is happening around them. I think Datuk Najib understands these new realities very well. Yeah. And I think he has only 4 choices. And I think he has made his choice. The first choice, which I think Datuk Najib made, is to jump, because, not jump ship. The 3 new realities, to my mind, what is interesting is they are happening, occurring at the same time, and they are complementing each other. The new media strengthening the new social consciousness, because the new social consciousness uses new media to disseminate and to share ideas and activities, and so is the transformation in democracy. So the 3 things seem to be happening at one time, each of them complementing each other, to an extent that they become like a phenomena which I call the running train. Yeah? And Najib has got to make the choice, what to do with this running train. And he think he made the first choice, that is to jump on the train and be its driver. Yeah? The second choice will be to delay action, and then by the time you jump on the train, you only become a passenger. The third choice will be to delay even more, to the extent that you miss the train. The first choice is difficult, because it is rather suicidal. You try to stop the train. That one you mati lah.
Final batch of questions. So if I may maybe start the final batch with my own. I want to bring it back to what you said earlier about the Prime Minister and his new politics and his progressiveness. I think you rightly pointed out that the issue here is as much what the Prime Minister believes in, as well as what the rest of the party believes in. And you said that support for the PM without articulation, without understanding, comprehension of this new politics is dangerous for the party. Can I ask then, quite bluntly, how much of the grassroots has bought into his progressive imperative? Because I think without that, whatever BN and UMNO does at the top level, if it doesn't go through, go down to the grassroots level, it is bound to fail. Is that something you agree with? And if so, what are the steps that UMNO is doing and BN is doing to make sure that that imperative is good, it goes through down to the rank and file?
Yeah, very good evening, Dato', and good evening to ladies and gentlemen. For me, I believe new politics is the most important is survival of the nation itself. That's where the lie of democracy will be. I'm just asking this question on the basis of I foresee that the leadership in this country, I'm a Malaysian, I live in Malacca, that we are losing of the aggressiveness of creating business opportunities. Do you think that nation leader should be born as an entrepreneur, great salesman? It's time for the nations to have leadership which is true salesmen or bureaucrats, just bureaucrats who could be a good listener or mapper rather than creator. Thank you. My second question relies onto that personally I see you as a scholar rather than a politician basis for my view. I feel that Malaysian politics is more on gutter politics rather than wisdom politics. Therefore, how was your survival? Even though we are losing our base in terms of culture, where we are creating our national language, Bahasa Melayu can stand tall to be competent in English and everything. There is a saddest part. The wisdom of that is not there, and we are not recognizing that many of us who are from rural are not really up there in terms of competency of English and how we can be dominant in teaching maths and English in that language. Therefore, can you just please explain these two ways? Thank you very much.
Hi, good evening, Yang Berbahagia Dato'. I've got a follow-up question actually from a fellow participant here in regards to the points made with the Occupy Wall Street movement and what's going on with the Arab Spring. I'll just articulate very quickly in the interest of time as well. Looking at it from a broader macro perspective, it seems to be the issue about the middle class and the diminishing middle class that gives rise to sentiments, and that would go across. You know, as a member of the governing body in Malaysia, how would you see policy creation forming up in view of what's going on with the broader political stance right now? Are you going to view this a rising tide with a sense of a reactionary feedback that the youth are rising and we have to adhere to what they ask? And as you can see as well, throughout the Arab Spring movement, there are countries where even after they revolt, it's not stable yet. It's not a stable democracy. It hasn't really proven itself in time to be the way forward. So I'd just like to tap into your experience here. What would be the right foot forward for the government taking a broader macro stance with these movements? Thank you.
Okay. How widely received is Dr. Najib's new, sometimes radical policies among UMNO members? Sometimes it is even very okay. There are two things: UMNO members and UMNO leadership. There are two things. Yeah. UMNO members, I think we need to do lots of explanation. I remember immediately after the Hari Malaysia speech, some of us actually have to do talk shows and write articles and in our FBs and whatever to actually explain to sort of appease people. Look, Dr. Najib is not losing ground. He is still in power. He is still the Prime Minister. He is not reacting to the opposition's call and whatever. We are still okay lah. Basically, we have to tell people we are still okay. UMNO leadership is interesting. Whatever the Prime Minister said, they will follow lah. Yeah. And you sometimes you see people who were just an hour before ISA was announced to be abolished, who strongly say that ISA should be maintained, blah, blah, blah.